Hello everyone, welcome back to August Powerhouse 2020. Next up we will have Rainworld, Any Percent Survivor by Iced37. Thank you very much.
Alright. Hello everyone. I don't know if a lot of people know what this game is, but this is Rainworld. We are going to play as a Slugcat, and in this game we have a choice of 3 different Slugcats, that being Monk easy mode, Survival being normal difficulty, and Hunter being hard. Given the changes with the schedule and the fact that Razor is not able to be here later on, I'm going to be doing the Survivor Any Percent run as normal, and then I'm also going to be doing a Hunter Pilgrimage run, which will be interesting. So, we're going to start the Survivor. So to be truthfully honest with it, I didn't actually... Well, any percent can be a bit volatile, so I've completely taken over the stream, and at any moment the run could completely fail. I'm kidding, but there is one trick near the end where it can go pretty wrong, and the chances of it, if it does go wrong, it's in the estimate that we can get back, but depending on how good of a run I get, looking at my other splits, I may or may not go for the fast skip, which I've barely gotten, but I just want to keep it fun with that. If there's a chance to actually be a personal best or a record, really, I'm gonna go for it, because why not? But also, I'm gonna start now. So Survivor, I'm holding left trigger on the controller. Basically that means it's bound to the S key and it skips the starting cutscene. When the circle fills completely, that's when the game starts. Alright? Are we ready? And start. Alright, so immediately we're met with a black screen. The game's already loaded in. We actually fall down from a height, so we're actually doing a slight amount of blind movement to try to get a roll off the first fall, and then we are moving. This is a fairly technical game in terms of its movement. Although you don't really need to know any of the tech. There's a rock up here. I'm using that. That's a rare spawn. You really don't need to know any of the tech to have decent times in this game. But it does make it very, very interesting at the high level. For the most part, we're going to be doing slides, and then, well, actually I'm going to do a trick here. Nice. Sorry. That isn't always common. The spear doesn't always spawn. But for the most part, we're going to be doing slides, and then we want to be getting into rolls out of the slides to try to get a good amount of speed. For the most part, for an explanation of the mechanics at least, we are a... Ooh, we want that batfly. We are a 2-body chunk creature, and normally you are in the static upright position. But if you're not in the static upright position, your body's a bit more moldable. I'm going to be safe here, even though I don't need to be. Meaning that you can do a lot of fancy little movements. So, as you may have noticed, this is not ideal. We're going to wait. That isn't good. As you may notice, that there's a lot of other creatures in this world. I'm going to go back, even though I probably will be fine, just to make sure we're not going to die. A lot of other creatures in this world, that being lizards. Depending on the color that they are, represents what they can do. There's also a pole plant here. If I touch it, I'm going to die. But that's fine. Also, I've already wasted a lot of time, so really no chance at any decent record. I just wanted to be safe. Make sure we actually finish. But additionally, we've gotten a certain amount of food. I've eaten 3 berries, and then I picked up another berry and a batfly. We'll all eat one of the other things that are in my hand, and then we can starve a cycle to advance our karma. Now, why did I eat? Why are we resting in this shelter? So these shelters are the save points, and then every once in a while it rains, so everything has to go in their own shelter. but you need enough food to actually save. So we want to eat 4 food to match the amount of pips that you can see in the bottom left. But if we have less than 4 food, we can actually starve, and considering there's a food in here with us, we can reliably starve. And if we starve and then quit out immediately, we can climb this karma ladder chain to get to the karma we want. You get karma by surviving a cycle, and we're basically abusing the game to give us the karma we want. And why do we want a high karma? Because to get to another area, you need a higher karma as to, well, access it. And we need karma 4 to access the end. So this is the last save we're doing in the run. And runs, for me at least, are going to be commonly 21 minutes. So if you could imagine, that's where the bit of volatileness comes in. Sorry, I'm going to concentrate on a few things. But, alright, so maybe we get a rock here. So one interesting thing of tech, so it's rolls and slides. If we throw something behind us in a slide, we will go into an extended slide. And that is a big deal of speed when you're on flat ground. Here is one of the gates that go between regions. We have to just stand in here. It's basically a glorified loading zone. It's quite nice. Additionally, because I have an item, I can do another extended slide here if I time it right. I did it wrong. It's easy to accidentally not throw it forward. We can boost out of the pipe as immediately we go through it. And then we're moving on. Alright, we see the green lizard over there. Green lizards aren't really a threat, but you can never be too careful with a marathon, I suppose. Alright, next room, there can be purple and a green. The purple's already down on the ground, which isn't very common. Normally I would rush the green, but it's whatever. Oh, unfortunate. Alright, next room, I want the rock, just to be safe. There can be an axolotl, he can be literally anywhere. I was a little scared, actually, he could have been down there. He was on the right side. Alright, so from this point on, in drainage, which is the region we're currently in, there is no more creatures that can kill us. It's all us. And drowning in water, because everyone loves that. For a water section, this area isn't too bad. It can be very tricky to optimize if you do not know what you're doing. Additionally, this room specifically, right now, when I'm going into this pipe, if you don't go at it directly, it will slightly clip you into the wall, which it doesn't like that, so it pushes you away. And when you're underwater, being pushed away from the exit you want to get to obviously isn't good. So we want to make sure we're going straight on it. Alright, I'm going to make sure I do certain boosts here. So this room is easy to die on. I am also looking at chat every once in a while, although there's a lot of Rainworld people in chat right now. Personally, I love answering questions during runs, but I'm also just going to try to explain things as they happen. You can easily die in that bottom left section I just went through. Additionally, when you're in water, when you press jump, you do a breaststroke, but you also lose massive speed. But if you are coming out of a pipe, you actually get a massive amount of speed. Without the loss of oxygen. Just gonna make sure I get this real quick. But yeah. The next run is gonna be a bit more lax than this run, as I do kind of want to make it go fast. Also, forgot about the kelp. No, I didn't forget about the kelp. I'm talking about things you should actually die to, because that's not actually a threat. So down here is our friend the kelp. Sometimes he's there, sometimes he's not. I don't question things. You shouldn't die to him, ever, but it's going to happen. Because you're going to want to go fast, and it's just going to happen. So that's some of that. That wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great either, to be honest. We're behind 25 seconds for my record. But, it's nice. For a marathon run, considering I spent so much time on the purple, that's nothing. Movement's basic physics case? Basically, you want to know what state your creature is in. Why is the red lizard grayscaled? Alright, try to do a slide, mess that up, whatever. Now we are in subterranean, so now we're going to have some issues with lizards in this area. Specifically, this area is home to the mole lizards. And it's a little bit harder to see their very bioluminescent friends in green and pink that we saw earlier, just because they are not normally lit up. Ooh, they only light up when they sense movement. That was close, actually, and he could have gotten me there. There's another one off to my left. I need to listen to this section. He's probably on the pole going down. There he is. Alright, so the game loads in about then. The next room. That's not too bad. So the thing about lizards is that... thing about really every creature except for centipedes, which we don't have to deal with them, is that they have to charge their attack or their bite to actually bite you. And so if they don't know you're there, like mole lizards, the chances of them actually hitting you and biting you is very low. Additionally, something I didn't really say is you instantly die to everything in this game. That's why I'm playing so safe. One save, one dream, that's it. For the most part, a lot of the other runs, all the places you can die are really close, for the exception of the Pebbles runs, which are really long, extended, difficult sections. But for this run, it's just the outskirts, drainage, and subterranean, which isn't too bad. We're missing a good amount of the game, but we can go straight to the end this way, and it isn't too bad. Alright, so normally when we get down here, we're supposed to have a certain key. I'll talk about that, what that certain key is. Also, I'm very happy I just got that trick. That is very hard to get. Very nice. But we're supposed to have a certain key to finish the game. We have obviously not gotten that. Let's just say it's a certain key. It's not really. But we have not gotten that. So we have to do a very specific trick. I was going to do the fast version. I'm still going to try the fast version. If I don't feel good about it, I'm not going to go and do it. Actually, no, I'm not even going to try. It's better just to be sure I get one of them than neither of them. But effectively, there is many, many ways to beat this game. And ahead of us, the amount of unintentional options that we have are limited just to what we've brought down with us. Considering we've brought no creatures down with us, we have to do a despawn by manipulating the saves, or the loading times of these next rooms. So we want to go in this room to the left, but there's these creatures that will block us if we don't have said key I talked about. But if I go all the way left, make sure the room on the left loads in, then I go to either of these rooms on the right, say hello to one of the creatures here, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That seems good to me. At about 6.5 seconds, if we go back through and we exit right when the room is loading, the guardians should not even spawn in. But if I messed it up, they will be there, and I'll have to load a safety save. But we got it right. So we are all good. The safety save I would have the key, so in case I mess it up again, why did I do that? Alright, I could try a strat here, but I could also instantly die on this fall. So guardians should not even spawn in. But if I messed it up, they will be there, and I'll have to load a safety save. But we got it right. So we are all good. The safety save I would have the key, so in case I mess it up again, why did I do that? Alright, I could try a swag strat here, but I could also instantly die on this fall, so I'm not going to do that. Vexel, don't tempt me with it. It was a very good strat, but it's also terrifying. Additionally, we're going to be moving down farther into the depths. So, we have basically gone really, really far to the end, and nothing here is going to make literally any sense. But we're basically slowly drugged down. Everything is actually slower right now. I am moving slower. All the reaction times are slower. It also means that I can grab throwables out of midair sometimes, which is real nice. Because if you throw something while in midair, you actually get pulled towards the direction you threw something. So I want to try to get as many throwables as I can and throw them while I'm in midair as often as I can. If I press jump right when I hit the ground with the speed, I keep that speed. So if I keep just gaining throwables and then throwing them and keeping up the speed. Oh, I want ups. Give me the ups. I could effectively bunny hop, I guess. I don't think that's the right term. To keep a bunch of speed and just keep going. Additionally, I could just go for slides. Like I'm gonna go for an extended slide here. I messed it up. Don't worry about it. No rock percent. I don't want to try rock percent. Yes, which try the less than 5% chance of succeeding option at a marathon. But also, we're going deeper and deeper. It doesn't make any sense to us because we literally just ran here instantly. However, and I'm going to explain a bit more in the longer run that we're going to do after this. But effectively, we're going down here to what is the end of the world. The Void Sea. And we're going to see exactly what is in the Void Sea soon enough. Additionally, when I say, I'm going to say something right now. So we didn't see a huge amount of this game. And I like to consider the ending of this game, also I'm not getting rocks, which is annoying. I'd like to say the ending of this game is very different from what the actual game is, in terms of how you should feel about it. Because you're going to see this ending and it's not going to make sense. And it doesn't make sense if you play the game. It actually does a little bit if you really look into stuff. But I would not judge the game by its ending, to put it that way. Additionally, one last thing I'm going to say. This is the last room in the game, right here. One thing I am going to say is there's actually, recently we changed on the leaderboards to have the ranking ending to be when we go down here. So if we go down 2 screens, that's when we do timing for the rankings on the leaderboards. We still have to completely finish the game, and of course we're doing to do so for the marathon, especially because we didn't fail at all. But when I cross the bottom of this screen, that's the rank timing. And then bam. And so we have made it to the bottom of the world. Also, it looks like we got a 1560 and not too bad for marathon. Here we are at the bottom of the world, swimming down into an ocean of gold. Why? No, we do not know. We just know that it will leave the world behind us. And so we keep swimming down until we start seeing a little bit more of what we may not want to see. So the reasoning why we cut this section off, this swimming section off, is you actually swim faster on controller. I'm not too keen on one input method being so much better for a good amount of the run. Additionally, all of these friends we've made here, they push you around, the ones that are really close to the foreground. And we've timed it so times could be influenced up to about a minute and a half. As much as I would like to say that the end of the run should be when the end of the game truly is, rolling dice constantly at the end of the game is not my favorite thing. And I don't think it's everyone else's favorite thing. And I would rather keep it to the mechanical skill of the player, as there's quite a lot going into the basic movement outside of just swimming down and hoping. And that's basically most of the game. And this is the ending. At least an ending you can choose to do. Well, the only one really. But also, we're going down. We're going to hear an audio cue in just a moment here. We're going to go right back up. We're going to see that one of our Void Worm friends has decided to come down. I'm going to face downwards and attempt to to do AI manipulation. It's going to move 7 times. I believe that is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, kind of. And it's going to be this hook right here. And then he hits us. We're streamed. That means he's going to bring us down. Down deeper and deeper. To where we don't exactly know. But we'll soon find it. So this is the point where you as the runner, especially now with the new timing system, the whole swim is just kind of a victory lap. And if you didn't get a personal best, there's no reason to finish it. But recently, there's been a lot of runners. This might be a little too loud, so I'm going to wait a second. It takes a good amount of time before I'll lift us up. So it can, when it puts us off, way down here, it can lean left or right. We want it to lean left. That's actually the faster method, even though it doesn't matter for the timing. But when we still had the timing, so we ended at the true ending, we wanted it so that it leaned left. It leaned left, which means it's going to tug us. The tug doesn't matter because the ending doesn't spawn until the void worm despawns. So he has to go down, and then he has to go back up. Alright, so now I'm going to talk a little bit. So, for a pretty good amount of time, this was kind of the game that I ran. Not really a lot of other people. There were people that ran it, but there wasn't as many people at my skill level, at least. And Survivor 80% was always my favorite run. And it's still changing today, after all things, of, well, me doing it for 2 years. But recently, quite a lot of different runners, a lot of them are in the chat right now, have been coming together and doing the run as well. I believe we're at there's about 5 new runners that have very competitive times, and there's like 8 to 10 that have just been new in the past 3 months. I don't know, and they're all playing Survivor 80% specifically, although I want them to play the other categories, because having what's the way to put it? Having a category where the whole game's based on one skip can get a little annoying. But also, we're going to be touching the true ending here in just a moment. And the true ending timing is when you see loading in the bottom left. Alright. And that is Rainworld 80%, and a pretty good time, considering the issues with the lizards at the beginning. But yeah, we're gonna let the credits go. Well, the final cutscene go. It's not gonna make much sense. Also, I think it glitched out. Sometimes it doesn't show the last frame of the cutscene. I don't know why, it just happens. It may or may not happen. It seemed to take a little long, but eventually we find ourselves really far down here into the Void Sea. And at the beginning, with the cutscene that we skipped, also it definitely glitched out. Maybe not. It might show it. Come on, give it to me. Yes! Thank you. Okay. At the beginning of the game, there was a cutscene that we skipped, and it showed a tree where your Slugcat family lived before you were separated. And in our quest to find our family, well, we eventually did find them. Not exactly the place where we expected, though. And that was Rainworld 80% in 1516. Not bad, and a 2044. Additionally, I'm going to pause here for a second. So this game is made by 4 developers, that being Video Cult. I don't know, I just always thought that was nice. They're also putting a bunch of teasers for their new game soon. Nobody has any idea what it's going to be, because it's clearly not Rainworld 2. Which should be interesting. But yeah, that's it for me for this run. thank you for accepting this run, even as volatile as it could have been. But, yeah. Alright, so, I'm not sure what the other Powerhouse August people want to do, but I could go straight into the Hunter Pilgrimage right now, if we want to.
Yeah, do that.
Alright. I'm gonna pull up splits just because, truthfully, I have not done the category in a while. And splits help me remember the direction to go. Last time I ran Hunter Pilgrimage in a marathon, I went the wrong way. Don't worry about it. It worked out. I still did the that run underestimated. But that was the funniest thing to me. Alright. Where are you? There we are. So you guys aren't going to see the splits, but I like to have them up just so I know what I'm doing. On PS4 and Switch as well, yes. Right now on Switch it's a bit annoying, but port on Switch is a port on Switch. Alright, so I'm going to tab out of that. We're going to go to a different save file because I don't want to overwrite my other Hunter file. Time for Best Slug Cat. Okay. You Hunter people. So Hunter is the hard mode for Rainworld. You saw very little of this game in terms of the randomness this game can show. Hunter is not going to hold anything back for the most part. We still have a very dedicated route of what we do, and there's really not much of an issue. Basically how this game works is the faster you go, the more consistent everything is. There's only so many places different creatures can be in. Spawns are consistent, but where the creatures go can be random. The fact that that purple was in the way on any percent, that happens extremely rarely and is extremely annoying when it happens, because there's nothing you can do about it. You can't go near that guy at all because of how fast they charge their bite. But this is Hunter. Hunter was brought in the 1.5 patch and brings a lot of new creatures into the world and has completely different spawns. Additionally, we can have a spear in our back, which can be very useful. And yeah, traditionally Hunter mode is used for the score run. That being when Hunter only has 20 cycles to live, and when you're done with that, your score is tallied, and that's what the score runners try to optimize as much as they can. But alright, I'm going to stop talking. We're just going to play now. So I'm going, when the circle fills, the time starts. So ready, set, go. Alright, so nothing really we can do about this. It's going to take 12 seconds to load. Immediately we're going to go off to the right and try to go up to a neighboring region called Sky Islands. As you may notice... Oh, I messed that up. Let's just go down. I want to reset already. As you may notice, we spawn with something on our hands. We don't care about that at all. You guys should if you ever play this casually, because that means quite a lot. We're going to eat this man. So Hunter can eat meat, and it sustains them quite a lot more than how Survivor and Monk have to eat bat flies and or fruits. So we can eat the centipede here if we wanted to, but also the centipede can murder us in our sleep. So I'm going to take this slow for a second. Let's take the spears. Alright, so we're going to be moving on to the right. There can be another centipede that can get in the way. There's also a purple lizard up ahead, but usually he'll be below us. So here is a friend of ours, and by friend I mean worst enemy, that being the reindeer. We'll see more of them later, as they'll be necessary to get past a certain area. As you may be able to tell slightly, Hunter moves... straight up just moves faster than the other slug cats. So he is very good with the speedrun. Additionally, with the fact that he starts in a different area, makes it that all of the categories for him are just faster because of his location and the fact that he moves faster. Alright, so we're just going to be moving up. There's a centipede on our way. I can hear him. It might be a small one given the sounds I'm hearing. Hello there. That size can still kill us. So centipedes can't see, they can only hear. So if we're laying down by any degree, he can't hear us. If we do this kind of like... I'm bad at this game. Give me a second. We just kind of like... flopping on the ground, we also don't make sound but move faster. Also, this is exactly what I didn't want to hear. The centipede could be on this pole, on this transition, and could instantly kill us. Okay. I'm gonna wait. Hello there. So, if we touch his body, he won't know that we're there. But if we touch one of the heads, he will know that we're there. Ooh, he knows we're here now. He hasn't grabbed us, though, because his actual body has to grab us. He won't be able to grab us because he's gonna feel us with his feelers. But his body, and stop because he feels something, but he won't make his body go straight into us, so we're fine. Alright, we got to a gate. Hunter starts with 3 karma, so we can immediately go through this area. And we're going to be moving on. So Sky Islands is probably the most hated region in the game. Hopefully we won't die instantly. Also, I could do back spears to go faster, but as Hunter, you want to keep spears with you. So Hunter has a higher capacity, has higher spear spawns in the world, as you may or may not notice. But with Sky Islands, there tends to be droughts in certain areas, and we're going to be in these certain areas for a good amount of time. Alright. Hello there. We got a double trouble today. So these are vultures. Give me my spear back, loser. If we hit them twice, they run away like the losers they are. So, those guys are generally the apex predators in this area. In the game, with Hunter though, there are king vultures. There are no king vultures in Sky Islands for some reason, I don't know. Which is good for us for multiple reasons. But the normal vultures can still be quite annoying. When we are grabbed, we don't instantly die. We actually have a chance to throw whatever's in our hands to escape. Hence why I was fine there. That jump can kill you and is quite annoying. Right here, it's gonna lag after a little bit. There it was. And if you do that right when you do your leap, you're probably going to mess up in your leap and die terribly and feel bad. Feel really bad about it. I want this man's. Well. There's a drop wick. There's an orange. He's dead now. I did this. Oh. Okay, I didn't expect that. There's an explosive spear there. That's a rare spawn. We don't need to get that. We can just make that jump. True apex predator. Alright, so squid cicadas. So, a lot of people don't like to use them, but they help quite a lot with vertical movement. You have to hold them, meaning you cannot have any rocks or spears in your hands, or masks, if we got a mask from those vultures from earlier. But going up areas like this super fast is super nice. So these are flying centipedes. They're a lot less dangerous than their orange counterparts. Still just as annoying. That is a scavenger, and that was actually a little terrifying. So scavengers are basically monkeys. Monkeys can use spears just as well as you can. Learn the one... I'm not learning that. Also because it's really only useful for... if you have a mask, which I don't. But also, scavengers are basically monkeys. They can also throw spears at you. You should be about as scared as you think you should be, knowing that something else can throw spears other than you. So, there's a few spawns in this game where they can just show up, and right here in front of this shelter is one of them. We're purposely going to starve, and then do a karma cache as we did in any percent. That effectively is we purposely starve with at least one extra food in our belly. And that makes it so we can quit out the next cycle and then keep that karma increase of surviving a cycle, but it makes it so we're no longer starving. We can keep doing that forever if we want to. So the point of us doing that now is, please no bad men. Okay. Point of us doing that now and getting up to survivor karma is the whole reason and the point of this category. That being pilgrimage. There are two ways to normally beat this game. Normally be able to get what I call what said was the key to beat this game. And that being to get the maximum karma that you could possibly get. You start with your maximum being 5, that being what I have it at now, but you can bring it up to a maximum of 10. And so you can either go to this one guy who just gives you the full 10, or you can go to 4 of these men's. Hello there, spooky ghost mans. He's gonna talk to us because we have the mark, meaning we can talk to them, but we're just gonna jump off so it's faster. We don't need to talk to spooky ghost man. Squid Cicada is inside of me. Okay. So, if you see in the bottom left, our symbol is now something completely different. That is a line effectively. Please let me back up, egg bug. He tried to kill me. Okay, it doesn't matter. No! Effectively, we want to get the 4 crosses of an X. So we currently have 1, so we need to meet 3 more echoes. So that scavenger death doesn't matter at all. Either way, we could just karma cash to get the karma back. It's still annoying, obviously. So I like to go in this next room with a popping plant, which is that red thing to the top left of this room right now, to scare all the lizards in this room. Because for Hunter, there are now teal lizards, and these teal lizards jump. And that's terrifying for many reasons. There's also orange lizards over here. They didn't see us. The orange lizards did, however. Orange lizards are dumb, though, and charge their bite very, very slowly. So we don't have to worry about them too much. Orange lizards communicate, though. Alright, that is unfortunate. So the Squid Cicada got a bit stuck in translation there, so we're going to have to drop them, which slows us down a bit through this next jump. He might actually get away. Actually, doesn't look like it. So this jump is the bane of my existence. For multiple reasons. I'm just going to do it. Okay. I don't think I need to tell you how bad that can go. I just slid a spear forward just to make sure that there wasn't anything in front of me, like this man here. So these are white lizards. They can camouflage themselves. Give me a second. I'm setting up something. I want to be able to climb up. The blue lizard's a bit annoying. They die in one spear, but... Good boy. Actually, I want that spear back. Thank you. Still teal lizard there. This man's in the way. Please go back. Thank you. Just trying to be safe about this. Alright, I want to get a Squid Cicada for this next part, specifically a white one. The darker ones are smaller and have less stamina. So it can end up really badly at times. Also, that the screen didn't exactly update well there. So there's a jump coming up that I need to do that can end up badly, easily, and I just don't want to lose the time, so I'm purposely going to get the Squid Cicada. And I want the white one because he's a lot more stamina, as I said before. There can be a white lizard in this area, although I believe I've killed the only one in this area. So this jump right here can be very annoying normally, but now we've got this man. It can be purple off to the right here. He tends to get stuck. He can be right on this transition. Okay, we're good. This ball, this leftmost ball there, it's actually 2 walls going up infinitely. It's kind of funny. So you can't actually climb over it. Alright, we're almost out of the Sky Islands here. Just have to not die. TM. How's that sound, guys? Just don't die. If we fall off at any point, we go right back to that shelter we rested at earlier. If that makes sense. So generally, this is kind of... Well, it's a survival game. I'm always going to say that... survival games don't like to be speedrun. Depending on what the game is. But this is a survival game first. Far before it was ever a platformer. And so going fast can be quite scary because you have everything to lose. Because we're like 3 minutes in one section, and then one mistake would kill us. Alright, so we're near an echo, so everything that's not us goes to sleep. That also means vultures. So if a vulture spawns, it will fall from the sky and could knock us off. I have not had that. I've not died because of a vulture falling like that. We didn't get one this room. There can be one this room. There's 5 vultures in this region. And there's always a chance of one coming down if you're in a room. Alright, so we're good. We just have these last jumps here. Imagine not getting those 2 free points. We're hitting an echo. Killing the squid cicada would do nothing. But also, I understand if there are people in chat who have never seen this game, and nothing makes sense. Don't worry. I have no idea what's going on either, I'm kidding, you can ask. But also there's a lot of people in chat who don't know. I just want to make sure I made that, because it's easy to miss the lower jump. Once again, if I throw something in midair, it gives me a burst of speed. We're going to wait till we see the text box, then go down. Except you get points, except we don't get points, because we're hitting an echo. And the cycle doesn't exist. Alright, so that's 2 lines of the 3 lines. We are now going to ditch this terrible area that is Sky Islands. We were just in Chimney. Now we're going back to Farmerays with our new friend, the Squid Cicada. Now we're going to die instantly. The scavengers again. Actually, we're fine. Alright. There's 2 pole plants in the middle. Just don't touch them. There can be a drop wig in this next room. We saw him earlier, so we generally want to take the lower path unless the oranges are on the lower path. The oranges are generally not scary. If the drop wig's on the ground like this, he's actually tame, because he has to drop down from the ceiling before he'll actually try to attack things. Ooh. Please get out of here. Don't come back. Okay. Moving on. That jump can be a bit annoying. This jump can be a bit annoying, because sometimes you can accidentally roll, which basically means you're dead. So you basically just do a roll when you hit the ground by holding diagonally on the ground. From a high fall, or out of a... jumping out of a slide. You'll always get one if you jump out of a slide. And if you're jumping out of a roll... the general rule of thumb is, if you're jumping out of a roll, if you want to get another roll, land 1 unit down. But also, that won't matter to us right now too much, because we have the Squid Cicada. Using the Squid Cicada to help move vertically quite a lot. However, he's now completely useless now that we're going back into Farmerays. So, he's going to live with his people out in Farmerays, even though no squid... Actually, Squid Cicadas do live in Farmerays, never mind. He's out of the terrible area that is Sky Islands. So now that we can no longer die from gigantic pitfalls, we now have to deal with one of the most fearsome creatures in the game. We saw him earlier. That's right. It's the reindeer. R-A-I-N deer. Yes, that's the actual spelling. Be happy about it. So, these reindeer, specifically, we need them to cross a certain hazard. That being wormgrass. This is unfortunate that this man's here. I can't do much to fight him here. It's pretty rare to see him there. So, if we go through a pipe at the same time as a creature, we just go through each other. Nothing really happens. That's quite useful to get by certain creatures. So, if we get these puffballs here, the deer will be attracted to us. If we throw one will come onto the whatever screen we're on, regardless of how far away it is or what other rooms it's in. There's always 5 deer in farm arrays, I believe. This is the only region they're in. Additionally, puffballs are also used as a pesticide, meaning that they kill the centipedes here, spiders, and a few other creatures instantly. Well, not instantly, but they do massive damage if they sit in the cloud. A lot of the spiders and stuff do die instantly, though. Oh, he's got a centipede, so that's not any risk to us, because he can only have one thing in his mouth at a time. We're going to go through him so we don't get bundled up in a area. So this area, if you noticed, so if we're near any of us, there's a threat theme. In this room, it goes away because there's actually an echo that's activated on the other side of this region that affects this room and just makes there be no music. I do not know why. Don't ask me. Because we're actually really far away from that room. Hopefully we got one coming up from the right side. So this is why I take 2 here, because you get to throw both. And we've got the super secret one over here. Not a lot of people know that that one's there, but it's very useful, especially in a situation like this where deer aren't instantly there. You normally want to hope that a deer is there, in which case you're pretty much set. Oh, we've got a friend. He's a little confused right now. His head is currently completely under his body. Please don't kill me instantly. Okay, thank you. So sometimes if you're on its antlers and it flips its head through its body, because necks are an illusion that we all pretend exists. Its body chunks can just slingshot you in a direction so fast that you instantly die from fall damage. So we don't want that. So that was a little scary. Additionally, you can stab deer to make them go a bit faster. However, they get scared and try to leave the room immediately. And they'll always... please! Okay. Why? They try to leave the room immediately, so you normally don't want to do that until you're halfway across this room so they can leave off the left side. I'm not going to stab them because I have no idea which hand the puffball is in currently. You throw from your hand that's on your left, the left side of the screen, which is right-handed slugcat, basically. I'd start stabbing him now and it'd be fine. Additionally, deer don't often just kind of walk through each other like that. So deer will have a certain amount of filament of antlers on their head, and that will be randomly generated as it is. And the ones with the longer antlers will have the ones with the smaller antlers bow to them, as the other ones do. Can you do that glitch Epimez found? We are doing it in the next room. Actually, we're not doing it yet. We have to save in just a moment. Alright, so we got past that hazard of what is the worm grass. There is no way to get past them outside of the glitch that Hempamaz found earlier. It's not useful in that room, however. Get back here, you heathens. Okay, I need to eat food. Pick up the football. There we go. So there's a bunch of spiders in this next room, and they can kill you pretty easily. I'm not kidding. So the normal ones like this one die instantly. Spider. Hello there. Do you mind? I think he does. He's lining up for a shot. So these bigger ones with the red, they can actually spit maggots that will make you unconscious. Hence why this is a terrifying area. Because it's very open. There's like 4 of them, actually, off to the right here. We've passed one. There's much of the smaller ones. That was a little scary, actually. So, okay, there's one. There's the other one. There's a Santa friend. Kill them. They deserve it. There's a pole plant directly above me, by the way. You missed him every time. So there's nothing we can do here. There's no way we can get past that one intersection. The spider's got the centipede. We're gonna go through this spider and then go up top. Okay, the spear's in my right hand, my throwing hand. That's good. Okay, that was a little scary, but not too bad. Additionally, actually, this could... We need some food. This could end not good in just a moment here. Ooh, that's actually pretty not good. So we need a certain amount of food to rest in this shelter. And we were not able to get that food because the centipedes I usually eat here have run because it's raining. So you see the symbol that's basically just a line with two semicircles in it? The little dot up at the top is the timer. And we've taken the whole time and have not eaten enough food. So we have to starve here, which means the game does not save. So it does, and we're starving, which means that we're overall lighter, weaker, and every once in a while we will fall unconscious. So we're going to try to eat as many things as we can and then rest again. This would generally be a reset, although it's not the worst thing in the world. There's only 3 of them, so that's not enough. However, oh, that's a pipe glitching us out. However, we do have the puffballs, which can instantly kill our spider friends. Not one over there. Nothing we can really do about it. I don't want to go forward, because that can only go worse. So this is a little bit of a tense moment. Even if we die here, the estimate is lenient enough to not be too bad, but we don't want to take forever trying to get food and then fail. So if we get one of the big spiders, we should be fine. If we get one of the small spiders, we might be fine too. Do you need your pearl? No. It is a waste of time to even get it out of our inventory. Well, that spider clearly did not die. And he's intent on juking me right now. If you can understand, going through transitions like that can be a little scary. There's another spider there, apparently. He should be dead now. Alright, so we're back to full strength. Our character will now act normally, which is good. There's still a spider ahead of us, so we're just going to save normally because it's the marathon. Spider shouldn't go after us, but you never know. The small spiders generally aren't aggressive at all. That's why that took a while. Alright, so we are just going to save. And then we're going to go off to the right, and then we're going to get an echo. So the reason why we save here is, well, for the other categories, generally going through this area, you just want to leave farm arrays behind immediately. But for this one, we need to get the farm arrays echo and the subterranean echo before we go and finish the game. And to get the farm arrays echo, when you hit an echo, you get sent back to the last place you properly saved. So that now being that shelter we just came out of. I need a puffball. I don't know why I forgot. I'm keeping my spear for now. I don't need a water chestnut. So when we hit this echo after a bit here, we are going to teleport back to the shelter, and then we're going to finish the run by going into Subterranean from Farmer Ray's going left, compared to us going right. So those things are unlocks. Because I've completely wiped my Rainworld save recently, I don't have anything, basically. So, new arenas unlock. Marathon Shrats. Wow. Come to me, my friend. So, there's a new glitch that Hempim has found. It's happening right now. I probably should have explained it earlier. Just let it happen. Okay? I'll explain it after. So, effectively... Where am I? So, effectively, when you suck in a puffball... Am I up top? Yes. When you suck in a puffball while on a deer, the deer moves really fast downwards for some unknown reason. This crashes the game on Switch, by the way. And this freezes the game and makes it unable to load the... Makes it unable to load the rooms correctly. However, you can still move. Also, that was a little scary. So we can still die on these things, but as long as we move fast, we can get out. But we can still move. So, we're still moving in the background, and that glitch will stay up until we take the puffball out of our stomach. And so because the room isn't loaded, and the worm grass is tied to the room, the worm grass is just non-functional during that period. Which has to be one of my favorite skips, because everyone hates the deer. Especially in speedruns, but even just casually, deer don't work out well. And so just being able to do stuff without them is amazing. We only have to do that one ride that we did earlier. That is the only one that's really required. Alright, I'm gonna go right back down. If you play this game casually, you will learn to not like deer. Because unless you really know how they function, nothing will make sense. They won't do what you want. They'll go the opposite direction you want. I've played quite a lot of Hunter any percent, so I know them, and obviously this category, and the kind of the pebbles. Not really. But... And only then am I, like, confident in knowing how deer work. But there's still a variance of, like, 30 seconds to a minute of how fast the deer can take you to one direction to another. This makes it not only really consistent outside of hoping the deer shows up fast. This could be bad. Back off. So they usually shoot low the first time. So that's how I know how to move when they're doing stuff. So if we get hit by one of those, after a little bit we become stunned and can't do anything. But yeah, and they're worth one whole point. Also, it's extremely hard to kill them and you shouldn't even try. That's basically the gist of it. Alright, we want one puff and one stick going into this next room. There's going to be a centipede coming down through this pipe as we go up. Also takes a long time to load, hence why the centipede's taking a really long time as well. Centipede's not there. No, he is. He was probably a smaller one than usual. The spawn size for centipedes is always different. Alright, we're going to put this here. Come to me, friends. The dance of your people. So this is deer on a bad day, also known as every other day. So, and they're gone for some reason. Okay. What's happening? Come back, please. Do you understand? Do you understand how bad the deer are? I think you understand. I'm taking this with me now, so I can get a second one. Oh, it is a small one. We do want food to rest in the next area, but there's more than enough food when we get through this ride. We still need the deer to... Okay. Get that batfly, centipedes. You got them. The tiny ones can't shock us to death, but the big ones can. That's basically what they do. We're gonna throw this here. If you throw it into this spot, so when you throw a puffball, a flag is set for any deer that are gonna be in this room or showing up, etc., that they have to lay down and be at it for a moment to clear the flag of you throwing it. And so, if it's in a bad spot where they can't clear it, alright, we were too high up, so it didn't really do it. Just give me a second. So the deer move us... Ooh, okay. It's not working there either. Kinda want it over flat or ground. One of you, not both of you. If we mess with them for too long, they just won't deal with us anymore. Okay, so the glitch is not working. I have not seen it happen like this. We haven't tested with it a massive amount. We can just ride the deer. It's not too big of a problem for the marathon, especially with the estimate. However, my game might just be straight up frozen. Too low? I've never known that to be a thing. I can now no longer to do anything. The puffball is not coming out of my stomach. Start over. Okay, let's do that again. Unfortunate. I have not had it happen like that before. I understand why it crashes on Switch now, but that's mostly because it forces hard loads for the most part. But we need to have enough time to experience everyone's favorite part as Hunter, especially when you're speedrunning, and that is subterranean. Sorry, I mean, don't worry about it, as long as people can still see it. Well, the Spode friends are being nice. Think it would have recovered after a while. It probably would have, but I was overweighting, and there's no guarantee of that because we don't know enough. Would you say his pace is right now? Ahead of the estimate by still a good amount. My estimates are generally everything goes wrong. Yes, it's never happened before, but we don't know much about the glitch anyway. Put the spear preemptively. Let's get the pearl out of my stomach preemptively too. That could be a factor. Yes, it does take like a minute, and then the glitch will just end regardless of what happens. But that is not what I'm willing to wait for, especially because it already failed basically twice. Okay, there we go. So I'm thinking it's supposed to glitch out before it actually goes in your stomach, because it was actually going into my stomach, and it just wouldn't let me move as well. So sometimes there's going to be scavengers here. That basically means we're dead. But that's not a bad thing. Alright, this is a popcorn. It's basically infinite food. Also, yes, you can throw a spear downwards. I want one more, just for karma cash in case. So let me check my splits real quick to see how far behind we are. It's not too bad. We're about to hit the 4th and final echo, and then we're in the final region. Anyway. We just... So my splits are messed up, but we would be just getting into depths right now, which is about 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes away. So consider us to be 5 to 10 minutes behind of a 10-minute left to the run. So there's 20 minutes left to the run, effectively. Less than that. Unless we die terribly constantly. But that's why the estimate's what the estimate is. So there's Hunter Pilgrimage and there's Survivor Pilgrimage. Hunter Pilgrimage goes much, much faster when you're going for full world record. However, it's obviously a bit more risky, but also all the saves are not too far away from where you would die or would have problems. Because the problems we had weren't too bad in the end. Also, here's Last Man's. Very cool. Yes, the estimate was super generous. So, I just try to make sure in case of any problem that can ever happen. If everything goes wrong, that is the estimate for Rainworld, at least. However, for any percent, it was if I have one issue or switching to a save that just makes me able to finish the game instantly. Effectively. So, this is the last section of the run. We're going straight to the ending now. Except we're coming from the left side instead of the middle of Subterranean to go to the end of the game. So there's 3 ways to go into Subterranean, the last one being from Shoreline. Going into Subterranean from Shoreline to end the game is really only useful for Hunter 100%, which is a super cool run I'd love to do eventually, but it's not where I want it to be just yet. Just because of, well, Friend, the achievement you have to get. Alright, so we're going to be going down as fast as we can. For the most part, it's all reactionary. Things have quite a long time to move around. And especially, also I'm going to throw that preemptively, that makes everything in the room start moving. Mostly it's for if a spider is in this little crawl space that I just came through. If you kill a spider and hold its corpse, additionally, like that, then hold its corpse, you go super fast in pipes. So we're going to try to get that as often as we can. We just went through a teal lizard. I don't want to go through that spider. Hopefully that'll distract the teal lizard. There's going to be a... Okay, good for you. There's going to be a drop wig up top. We cannot see at all because there's so much stuff in the way. Spiders can revive each other. The revive is for a certain period of time. Additionally, in their lunge to the other spider to revive them. That was unfortunate. In the lunge to the other spider to revive them, you if you're in the way, you instantly die. Which is unfortunate. Also, despite the fact that we hit the centipede with a rock, it still did not let go of us and killed us instantly. It was also the stupid smaller size. That's just kind of the risk of falling down in that area. So that's the centipede pit. If anything beyond centipedes goes in there, it will instantly die. Additionally, for Hunter, there's a red centipede. A red centipede has armor. This makes it so when you hit it with spears, the spears will fly off in a random direction. So it's not easy to fight him, let's say that. We got the fast fall pretty good, however we got stunned for a few years. Spode? He did not hit us, despite being point blank. The popping plant hits another popping plant, it'll do a chain reaction. Does the same thing for explosives. No spears for me, this size cannot kill us. This happens sometimes. Because rolls make sense. Don't worry about it. There's a lot of nuance in the movement that a lot of the stuff I actually don't care to learn, if that makes sense. Because there's a point where you do have to simplify it a bit, where you can do stuff consistently. Also, there's definitely a drop rig there. I'm going to drop down. So if a popping plant is going off, a centipede cannot grab you. He's not moving. Man, that was unfortunate. He did get scared by the popping plant, but that's kind of whatever. Even if we were at an hour, we would still have chances. They usually go up instead of straight to that totem. But we didn't have issues where I thought we would, which is good. Because if you have issues in Sky Island, it tends to spiral out of control. While here, it's mostly just because I haven't done this in a while. Which isn't too bad. But world record would already be done, if that makes sense. It would have finished like a minute ago. Ooh. Finally got a spear early. They hit us. We don't want to be in the worm grass or we'll die. We also want to be in a spot so the spider can't really get us easily. Scavenger sees us. That's why it's really annoying to have a spider there. That's why also I throw the pops early. I'm gonna go straight for him. Okay. If he doesn't get us, it doesn't matter. They tend to cease to function correctly if there's a lot of explosions. We don't have anything for later, but it also likes to lag in this room. Imagine not PBing every run. Imagine resetting every 3 seconds when you could just enjoy the game. Woo! It's death. He was gentle today. Oh goodness. Okay, the kelp ate the centipede, so we have an option up top. So the popping plant saved us a bit. The red centipede did grab us. The red centipede is still there. You can die to the kelp, which is nice. So this is the tunnel of death. It is a one-way street to where we need to go. We don't want to make sound, because that teal can just kill us easily in this pipe. So you obviously cannot move fast here. So if anything comes through the pipe, you're basically dead. That's it. Alright, I could do this fast way. Also, this geometry doesn't exist. Could do this the fast way, but let's do this the semi-safe way. We're so close to the end. So this room here may start to look familiar in just a moment. I'm going to do the full fall onto stun. That allows us to hear if there's anything in the room, because we'll hear it start moving. So at this point there's only mole lizards. Let's see what happens. We didn't get the spider chew? No. There's a spider here though. There's also a lot of mole lizards. So it's really bad if a mole lizard's face is just in the pipe we need to go through, but that's about it. Because right there, you can't really do much, but if his body's in the pipe, that could have been bad. Actually, he had his mouth open. Good enough. Ooh. Alright, and now we're just going to be finishing the game. Like, goodness. For the restreamer people, the run's gonna be done in 11 minutes. There's only one chance of me dying, and that's me jumping off a cliff like an idiot. Now you can still die from doll damage. I'm aware. I am not doing the Vexel strats. I wanted a throwable. Throwables in this room aren't always guaranteed. So because we have a maximum of 10 karma, when we go through that room it lights up. Also I messed up the strat, so I can't do the fancy thing I did in any percent. But when we go through that room, it will force us to have max karma. So now the guardian friends that we despawned last time, they will not exist. Well, they won't attack us, basically. We should get sub-hour, which is about as good as we could hope. Imagine not wanting to do the fastest match in a speedrun. It's almost like it's a marathon. I wanted to do all the fastest strats for any percent, but then the purple showed up right in front of the top, and that killed everything. Also, that fall there, I don't know if that's faster. I'm pretty sure it is, though. If there's a rock here, I'm going to go for the fast despawn just to see if I can get it. Never mind, we messed it up. Alright. Secret strats for you people out there. Lean against this, and just jump in air. Ooh. I don't know why that works like that. So here's the Guardian friends we weren't able to see last time. That's also me messing up strats. Did you see that? So normally they would attack us here when we cross that part, because where we have maximum karma, they do not care. Alright, so now here's the whole talk again. You can die on this fall. Just barely, but you can. You have to jump the whole distance and not try to roll. But now we get to do my talk again, because I love doing my talk for no reason in this area. Because I know it doesn't look very visually appealing for you guys, but trust me when I say the differences between a good runner and a great runner are how fast you go in this area. Because all the timings of everything you've been doing this whole game is now different. Meaning that you have to adopt completely different strats that you normally would. Additionally, the terrain is completely just fighting you the whole time. There's not really flat spots, but yes. We've met the 4 echoes of the 6 that we need to. Successfully crossing ourselves out from this world and crossing out the animal urges, the 5 original urges that we may initially have. And now we find ourselves going deeper and deeper into the earth, despite not knowing why. And as we go deeper, we can feel ourselves slowly being drugged down. It's definitely not because we are oxygen deprivated, because we're in a mine where there is no airflow. Definitely not because of that. And as we go deeper, not really knowing why. We find ourselves asking, what do we really want to do? And why are we going deeper? But you will continue to go deeper, regardless of what you answer either of those questions. Maybe out of curiosity, or maybe you do know what awaits you ahead. Back in the mind swimming story time with Ice. Yes. Alright, so we got a decent amount of rocks. I messed up a lot of other movement, but I'm also not fully paying attention. Wasn't the most optimal thing, but it's good enough. Alright. And as we enter this final room, we see the great golden sea light out before us. It doesn't make much sense to you, but you know that you are drawn down into it. Despite normally being scared of water, you are now so greatly engrossed by it, almost as if you could breathe in it. And as you swim down, your corporeal body slowly gets torn away. And so do all the impurities that go along with that. And as we start to see that the curtain starts to fade, and see exactly what's behind there, and what's really going on. Also, this man is super high up, and this is the second time I've seen one this high. The only other time was an old any percent record where we had the old timing. Also, I still have a spear in my back. Nice. So on controller, you may notice that I'm kind of snaking back and forth. Because of how the physics work, you straight up just swim faster when you do that. Also, because we don't lose oxygen, we want to do breaststroke rhythmically the entire time. So as we see all the void worms and the great expanse that exists under the world you have known for so long, only more questions have arisen than answers. But you know that you must both go even deeper to see what is truly down there and beyond the void itself. Additionally, when the void worm comes down, there's a lot of strats to manipulate it. Dang it. For the second run, too. There's 2 runs. I did any percent and pilgrimage. That wasn't even intended initially. We might be a little over... No, we will be under... We'll be under an hour. Why am I still going down? There's a lot of ways to manipulate this guy, but recently I've found just not moving and pointing downwards the best. So effectively you see he moves between different flags. The flags are random, but he goes to 7 of them. And if 2 flags are really short from each other, those movements obviously take less time. And then it's always that same tentacle. The size of the tentacle could be different. And you just want to try to be in it when it activates. Alright, now we're getting dragged down. We lost our spear that we had with us. When do we lose the spear? We're supposed to have already lost the spear. It should not be in our body. There's a thing about this whole room where any objects that are brought into it, it's brought to a certain Z depth automatically when it leaves Slugcat. because of how loud it is, there's really nothing that I can say that would make sense. But also, we made it. Alright. So, I want to bring up two things about the game before I round it out saying everything that I want to say. And that being that, one, I've always found it to be strange that the ending of the game is to remove yourself from the world, just like the ancients that exist in this game before you, that you find traces of everywhere. Why is that such a good thing to leave the world? I do have to ask. I guess I understand that desire, but still. The fact that there's no way to get out or choose is just something that's strange. You finish the game, you can continue to play again and again, of course, but inevitably one day you will not. That's a choice that you make, and it's not so much the one that you make in the game, but that you make yourself. Additionally, outside of the very far more, I don't even know. Guys probably didn't expect this kind of speech in a speed run, but okay. Additionally, when someone technically dunks themselves in void fluid and ascends without getting the full karma as we did in this run, basically doing as we did in the 80%, you become one of those echoes. Would be cool to see a survivor echo. Just because of that is exactly what happens in the speedrun. Also, time is now. Alright, cutscene is not different because the 1.7 patch only exists on PS4 and Switch for some reason. So, we won't get the actual Hunter cutscene. But yes, that is everything from me. Yeah.
Alright, thank you very much, Iced, for both of those runs. Very fun to watch. I'm sure a lot of people will be willing to check this game out. I know I am, anyway.
Yeah. Whether you were looking at it just for the technical stuff or actually interested in a survival game, whatever's interesting to people always works.
Yeah, for sure. So we're just going to throw it back to our setup screen.
Alright, thank you all for watching those really cool runs. We hit $821, which was way over our initial goal of $500. All those incentives went to raise money to battle COVID for the Children's Miracle Network Hospital. Thank you all again. We couldn't have done it without our handy tech crew, the runners themselves, and of course, viewers like you supporting the cause. We'll see you next time.